Seraphim's Space Investment Trust plans to go public in the world's first listed space tech fund with an initial public offering worth £180 million. The closing date for applications is Friday, the 9th of July, with dealing to kick off on Wednesday, the 14th. The fund, which has 15 companies seeded at IPO and a total of 19 assets in the portfolio, is targeting a return of over 20% annualized over the long term. Joining me to discuss is Mark Boggett. He's the CEO at Seraphim Capital. Mark, great to chat to you. I recently spoke with Han ETF about one of its latest product launches, Yoda, an ETF targeting the space sector. Your flotation provides another way of accessing this growing industry, and it comes at a hot time. We've got Richard Branson, who's supposed to be rocketing into space this Sunday, Jeff Bezos launching his own company as well later this month. There does seem to be a lot of investor excitement. Tell us about the opportunity that you see.
Okay, well, thank you. The entrepreneurs like Branson and Bezos and Musk have really been very impactful on this market, because together they've lowered the cost of accessing to space. They've increased the access. So what they've essentially done is they democratized space for a new generation of entrepreneurs and investors. Now, it's mainly private capital that's driving the growth in this market. At the moment, it's not really a public sector market that public sector investors can play. This is one of the reasons why we're establishing this investment trust, to provide the public investors with a diversified portfolio of private companies. But a bit of background. So the advent of miniaturized satellites, some the size of a shoebox, is transforming space and having a huge impact on our world. So new constellations of hundreds or even thousands of these new mini-sats are creating what we consider to be a digital infrastructure in the sky. And what they're doing is they're collecting vast quantities of data, blanketing the globe, and providing ubiquitous connectivity. So this is catalyzing a whole range of mega trends that are going to reshape our world and unlock a $1 trillion market opportunity. So examples include sustainability and climate change, the autonomous systems, the driving of autonomous vehicles, flying taxis and robots, and artificial intelligence to help us understand our market, and also to provide IoT applications and smart city applications.
So I understand you're looking to raise £180 million through the IPO. Your companies, as you suggested, all private, mostly early and growth stage space tech businesses. What are you planning to do with the additional capital?
So half of the capital that we raise is going to go into our existing portfolio companies. We've got great conviction about these businesses because we've joined the boards of most of the businesses. We've helped them really grow. We understand their position internationally in the market. So we're going to use this money to double down, triple down, quadruple down on the businesses we're invested. We've already got 3 of our companies that have scaled up and IPO'd. Companies like AST Space Mobile, Spire Global, and Arkit, a success story in the UK. We're going to double down on these businesses as well and build our stakes in businesses that we've previously invested that have now become public companies. But most of all, we've already built a pipeline of investment opportunity for private businesses around the world. We've got about 12 companies that we've lined up looking to invest into. And that's how we're going to invest the first 150 million that we raised over the first 6 to 12 months.
So you've mentioned some of the subsectors that you're investing in, whether that's space transportation, air traffic control, secure data transfer, and global change detection as well. What are some of the companies that you're particularly excited about?
So AST Space Mobile is a really exciting company. What they have are satellites in space that enable them to be able to communicate directly with any mobile phone. Now, those mobile phones don't need to have any hardware or software adjustment. These satellites are effectively cell towers in space. So that's a $1 trillion market opportunity that this company is focused at. Another one of our companies, Spire Global. So they have these tiny satellites, but they have hundreds of them in space, and they collect weather data, a huge amount of weather data. And that extra weather data that they collect allows them to be able to produce an accurate weather forecast, much more accurate than any of the forecasts that are available at the moment. We believe that has tremendous commercial value. And then another one of our companies, Arkit, around quantum security. So our world is under threat by cybersecurity is of paramount importance. This is a company that's using a constellation of satellites to enable us to be able to transfer data around the world with guaranteed security. So all of our companies that we're investing into are facing billion-dollar market opportunities, and many of them are at the forefront of these markets, bringing new technology to the space market, many of them bringing terrestrial technology into the space market. That's creating a massive amount of opportunity that we're investing into.
Now, some critics might say that all of this sounds quite risky, with space relatively misunderstood and unknown. It sounds like there is potential for serious rewards, but it doesn't come without some risk. In terms of your investors that you're targeting, what type of risk appetite do you think this appeals to?
So we have to acknowledge that this is a risky asset class. We're a venture investor. We accept failure as part of the success. So we naturally assume that some of our businesses are going to fail along the way. So this is the type of investment that is certainly not going to make up the majority of anyone's portfolio. But this is a high growth opportunity. It's a multi-decade, multi-trillion-dollar market opportunity. And we're already the global leader in this position. We're the most prolific investor in the market. So if any investors are in a position to be able to benefit from this long-term growth, it's us. So I think that it's relevant to have a holding of this company as a small part of a broader portfolio, and it should provide growth over the longer term.
So there was a concern that after Brexit, the London IPO market could fall flat. And we did see a bit of disappointment when it came to Deliveroo. But nonetheless, the LSE still had its best quarter for IPOs since 2007. So tell us a bit about the opportunity that you see in Britain.
Yes, well, the UK considers the space market to be an area of long-term growth. You've got the UK government right behind this. They're making their own investments into this space, including OneWeb, where the government made a very significant investment into a company that's putting up satellites into space to provide broadband to rural communities. So there's a recognition that the UK is already punching above its weight. So in terms of the satellite constellations, we're third in the world behind the US and China. So the UK has got big ambition in space. So currently we've got a 6% global market share. There's plans to take that to 10%. And there's a big belief that our fund and the companies that we invest into and helping those businesses to scale are going to help the UK achieve its ambitions in space.
Now, climate change is a growing priority for investors, with sustainability really pushed up the global agenda since Biden's time in office. Tell us a bit about how space can help to contribute towards those net zero targets and why it will be a leading topic of conversation in COP26.
Absolutely. Well, this is one of the things that I'm really passionate about, and one of the reasons why I run a space-focused fund. So from this digital infrastructure in the sky, which is real-time data, high-resolution, low-cost data, it enables us to be able to monitor our planet in a level of detail that we've never been able to do before. It enables us to be able to use resources more efficiently, but also importantly, it enables us to be able to provide sanctions against those that are doing wrong. So if a company is dumping effluent into a river, you can monitor this from space, and then you've got evidence and you can charge them and hold them accountable. From space, you can look into a farmer's field and identify which part of that field requires water. Rather than watering the entire field, you just water the part of the field that requires water. So that preserves the precious commodity of water, a huge advantage in countries like Africa. So there are just so many ways that we can use this digital platform in order to help our world become more sustainable. So one of the ways that we measure our portfolio is measuring it against the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. There's 17 of them. And our entire portfolio is very impactful across all 17. Every single portfolio company addressing 1, 2, 3, 4 of those SDGs.
All right, Mark, it's been great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time and good luck with the IPO.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Victoria. And I look forward to speaking to you again after we're listed.
Perfect. We'll speak soon.
Excellent.
And that was Mark Boggett. He's the CEO at Seraphim Capital. I'm Victoria Scholar, and thank you so much for watching IGTV.
For more videos like these, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.